This video provides a short overview of what constitutes and what we look for in great and good strategy models, and which ones have characteristics which are not so strong. Here's an example of a strategy map that was developed and describes a number of strategic objectives. The challenge is it's a bit hard to understand what the overall strategy is. This is the same organization with a more effective strategy model. Let's take a compare and contrast of what we see between these two examples. First off, the one on the right has a clear cause and effect explanation. We understand why we need to, in this case, get a better understanding of our customers. We're doing it so that we can figure out where we should be innovating our products, or understand what requirements are out there so we can meet or exceed them. It also tells us that our customer understanding operations should allow us to identify which new markets to strategically enter, and so forth. Over here, I don't have that clear explanation. So the arrows become an important part of the strategy map because it informs us as to why we're doing specific things, and actually becomes a filter as to why we're doing those activities. Secondly, we have a weighting here on the right. On the left here, it's hard for us to know which objectives are actually worth more investment of time and resources. This becomes more risk-free for management because at the end of the year, I can take a look at how we actually performed and rationalize that we spent our time on the right objectives or the wrong ones. Over here, this allows people in the organization in advance to know where they should be allocating their time and resources so that their actions are more consistent with strategy. Now, it's a bit tougher on management to lay down these weightings because I'm committing to the future. Now, we do that in our daily lives. If you think of, for example, your children's priorities, should they go and play or should they work on their schoolwork? We choose that they should get their schoolwork done. Why? Because we believe that will set them up for a nicer life style in the future. So we prioritize the activities we do based on some long-term strategic objectives. Now, it doesn't mean you have no playtime, but it's all in balance to my overall strategy. So that weighting, that focus is what we're trying to communicate across the organization. Thirdly, we need the ability to communicate a strategic theme. So in this case, we might have a innovation theme, and I can understand how the objectives work together towards that overall innovation objective. Now, here's an example of a strategy map that breaks all those rules. It's hard to understand the cause and effect relationship. There are so many objectives, it's in fact confusing as to what I should be doing, and certainly I have no idea what the priorities are, and it's hard to determine what any specific themes are inside this strategy map. Here are other examples that we see, for example, from, in this case, it's a utility that has been publishing their performance on the web. Again, it's hard for the reader to understand what that organization's priorities are. Likewise, too many objectives, no weighting, no clear cause and effect. Everything seems to affect everything else. This makes it very difficult for individuals in the organization to know what to do, and for the leadership team to know where their focus should be, and for shareholders to know what the value equation is that they're investing in. So, overall, some of the characteristics that we see of bad strategy maps are things like a lack of arrows or no cause and effect logic, no weightings, too many objectives, and objectives which are too tactical as opposed to strategic. And there are simple tests around tactical versus strategic that you can hear about in other videos. Now, the impact of this is as follows. One is lack of clear direction for the entire organization. 2, it's a poor communication tool internally and externally. 3, it allows leadership to escape accountability for strategic thinking and clarity. It takes away the opportunity of aligning the organization against those strategic objectives. And finally, there's no way to analyze whether the processes or projects are fit and capable for the strategic requirements of the organization. To learn more about these concepts, please join us at pm2consulting.com.